Good day, my dear students, and welcome back to Clara's Creation. Again, I have come up with SQ3R method, and I have brought a small unit from Standard 6th History. I'll quickly revise the abbreviation or the full form of SQ3R. Now that you know, this is my fourth video on this particular method. S stands for survey or study. And what do we have to study? We need to read the text. Here is an image from your textbook, page number 33. And I expect you all to open your textbooks and read the text, page 33. Here is an image of Emperor Ashoka, which I have taken from this following unit. And we are going to learn something pertaining to Emperor Ashoka, who was one of the greatest and well-known Maurya ruler, successor of Chandragupta Maurya, grandson of Chandragupta Maurya, the founder of Maurya kingdom. And Ashoka was Chandragupta Maurya's grandson. And we are going to learn to prepare a fact file on Ashoka. Now, in order to prepare the fact file, what you need to know is this: date of birth. Date of birth of whose? Ashoka. So as I had shown you the image of page number 33, you need to read your text carefully and find these particular information. Date of birth or maybe the year of birth. Then Ashoka was a successor of Bindusara, and Bindusara was Ashoka's father. Write about his achievements, his offsprings, that is how many children he had, his spouse, how many wives he had, religious belief. And if you can see this tabular image, I have left it blank. I have only filled up the headings. Why? Because I wanted to read the text and fill up this information. Instead of me providing you the details, I want you to read the text thoroughly and fill this information. Now look at the next slide very carefully. How will you prepare a fact file based on these guidelines? Full name of the person on whom you have to write the fact file, date of birth, place of birth, famous for. What was that person famous for? Now, since we are talking about Ashoka, was Ashoka famous for any particular battle or war? So you could even mention the date of war or the place of war where that war was fought, and between which two kingdom, maybe Maurya kingdom, and which was the opposite kingdom with which that war was fought, or with whom that war was fought, or the cause of the war, whatever may be. In short, I do not want in-depth information, I just want brief information. Date of the battle. Achievement. What was Ashoka's achievement? You could speak about the expansion of the Maurya Empire. Spouse, I told you. Name of his wife. How many wives he had? 1, 2, 3. In those days, kings would have more than one wife. Offspring. How many children he had? His life. What will he write about his life? His religious belief, his philosophy. If you have any information about that, on the given page which I showed you in the beginning of the video, the first slide, if you have any information about his life, you can take it. You can also do extra reading, visit library and gather information based on these facts. Search it out on net instead of using mobile phones and wasting time on unnecessary things and surfing for unnecessary things on net. Do something useful. And at the end, the date of death. When did he die? Or how did he die? How did he die? The cause of his death and the date of his death. You could mention if possible. Same piece of information you can transform into paragraph. What I showed you was a tabular image. What I showed you here was a tabular image. The same piece of text, when you transform into a paragraph, you come down to the next part of your SQ3R method. You finished with survey, you finished with studies, and now you frame questions. Write a short note on King Ashoka. Here is your question, and you're preparing yourself for your subjective evaluation. Explain in brief about King Ashoka's achievement. You've already noted down in your fact file. And based on same piece of information, you could also prepare yourself for your objective question. Mention the year of birth of King Ashoka. Mention the year of death of King Ashoka. And this will help you to prepare one more question, the chronological order. Arrange the following events into chronological order. If you remember in that table, I'll ask you for few dates, and when you are learning those dates, you are preparing yourself for one more type of question in history, that is, arrange the following events in chronological order. And now let's look into the next part, the 3R: read, recite, and recall. I've explained this earlier in my previous videos of SQ3R. Stay connected with Clara's Creation for more informative topic based videos. Thank you. At the end, I would like to tell you one thing. Students, fact file is also one of the writing skills that you have for your English composition. So SQ3R method of learning and revising yourself for your exams with the help of a fact file. And by learning fact file, you're also learning one of the writing skill questions of your English composition.